Hello, it's Andrew Eborn, and welcome to another edition of the Andrew Eborn Show. And as promised, as always promised, we're going to take you to places you've never been to before. And today I'm joined yet again by Rebecca Bryan. How are you, Rebecca?
Hi Andrew, I'm fine, thank you. I'm here on yet another windswept airfield. It seems to be the story of my life.
Oh, we love it. Well, the great thing about windswept airfields is we can all be appropriately socially distanced, can't we? Which is going to be rather fun. So tell us what's going to happen today.
Well, I'm here at Bridgewell Airfield, which is the home of Essex Gliding, Cambridge Gliding. This is an ex-RAF World War II base. There's going to be some flying.
A little bit of flying is always good. And what I love, just to prove the point during an airfield, you're terribly windy, so you have that sort of noise going on in the background. But we'll put up with it. We don't mind. It's all rather good. So last time we saw you getting prepared, you're going to introduce us to some of your chums, and we've done that. We've been corresponding. Our people have been speaking to their people, and one day we'll get them on as well. So all of that's going to be fun. But today, talk us through what you're going to be up to.
Today, well as a pilot, I'm an inspector, and what that means is that I can carry out certain repairs to aircraft. I'm not qualified to do all of them, but I can do some, and I'm allowed to inspect aircraft in the same way that you take your car for an MOT test every year. We do that with gliders, and I can do that. So today, I'm going to do repairs to two aircraft. One, I'm going to refit this.
Oh, you mustn't leave home without one of those.
Absolutely, it's a plumbus. No, it's not a plumbus. It's a tail skid, and it mounts on the bottom of the tail, and it's a sacrificial. You can see there's a metal plate in there, and these are designed to shear off if there's more than 200 newtons applied to them laterally.
Yes, you never want more than 200 newtons applied laterally. There's nothing worse. And when you say sacrificial, I mean, we're all assuming that sacrificial means it's okay if it drops off. It's designed to drop off.
Well, it's designed to drop off on the ground, but it weighs 590 grams, so you wouldn't want it falling on your head from 1,000 feet. So we test them to 9G. So after I've fitted it and it's cured, I have to put spring balance on and pull it, and hopefully it will stay put. The other thing I'm going to put
is this going to go on one of yours or somebody else's?
No, this is one of the club aircraft. This is one of the Essex Gliding Club aircraft. As is this one, I've walked inside a T hangar to look at a K-13. So a K-13 is one of the training gliders that, well, frankly, most people have started learning to fly. And today, what I'm going to be doing, please don't shut door, the light will go. I'm going to be replacing this connector, which is part of the trim control assembly. Now, it doesn't look like much of a job, but it's one of those things where it's a primary control, and you have to have a dual inspection. So somebody else is going to be with me. I do the job, I sign it off, they look at it, they sign it off, and then hopefully we can use this to fly later on.
Okay, oh well, we look forward to that. And how long does that process take to repair that?
Well, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 4 hours. That's the beauty of aircraft. You never know quite what's going to go wrong when you're doing the work.
Are you suggesting that we keep you company while you repair it?
I wouldn't recommend that. It might be a bit dull.
Oh, a bit dull? Could you not make it entertaining? You could tell us all your favourite hangar jokes or something. It's
Well, I've got to find the new part to fit first, the paperwork. Oh, joy, the paperwork. I'll tell you all about the paperwork later. Yes, so say if you take your, I'll tell you a bit about it now. If you were to take your car to be repaired, and I hope people are interested in your wonderful car, by the way. Incidentally, one of my cars used to belong to John Bird, the comedian, so I'm interested to know who your car used to belong to.
Well, it would be terribly inappropriate for me to tell you that Prince Charles had something to do with it, and also Tom Ford, the designer, because you can't tell people things like that, because it's all supposed to be a secret.
Well, there is that, yes. And of course, when I sell mine, I've got to take some time to obfuscate the address, of course, which is important, isn't it, with this sort of thing?
All interesting stuff. So it could take a little while, you say, to repair this, which is always...
It could. And sometimes the paperwork takes longer than the repair.
Oh, isn't that true of so many things?
So if you were to take your car to be repaired and they fitted a new part to it, they would just fit the part. Whereas for us, we have to have it as a certified part, and that comes with a thing called a Form 1. And the Form 1 has to be put in the paperwork file. And we then have to sign a rectification sheet to say what's got to be done. And because it's a club aircraft, you've got to have, before you can do it, a maintenance work order. You get the idea.
I absolutely get that. But what I love about this, and when people are starting with all these things, apart from doing the fun bit and flying, they do need to know about the paperwork. So I think it's very, very helpful. We'll do a special episode where you're filling in paperwork, and coming up next on Octopus TV, we'll be watching paint dry. It's going to be good. No, but we should talk people through these things, because people like to have a little video, little bite-sized videos telling them how to do it.
Well, if you want to watch them paint dry, I'm sure we can arrange that. Oh dear. So airfield cars, you probably heard a scruffy car go past. That was an old Renault 5 van. What tends to happen on airfields is that things...
So what happens? Your sound sort of goes in and out of the one little noise. What happens in airfields?
We tend to use very old vehicles because they have a very hard life, trundling up and down the grass at 20 or 30 miles an hour in all conditions. So, but actually, one of the great things is that when cadets join gliding clubs, they generally get to learn to drive. How often this is on things like golf buggies and things that they're allowed to drive. Oddly, tractors. They're allowed to drive tractors.
Oh, really? What's the age you're allowed to drive a tractor?
I think actually 14 on a farm.
No.
As long as it's not one of these multi-million-pound jobs. But yeah, I don't need to
On a
check the
farm,
rules.
you can drive at 40, but not down the M1.
No, not down the M1. We wouldn't want to drive a tractor on the M1 anyway, would you?
Don't make any assumptions about what I'd like to do. I'd like to do all the things you're not allowed to do. It's always a thrill. Driving a tractor down the M1, that's like a challenge. It's rather like when I was awarded Freedom of the City, and all those who've got Freedom of the City of London will know that one of the things you're allowed to do is to drive your sheep over Tower Bridge, which is...
Oh yes, the Barber Surgeons. So I'm about to be joined by some people who don't know that we're broadcasting live.
Oh, how exciting! Oh, I love these moments. Oh, God, let's surprise them. Who are they? Oh, there they are. Oh, good. Well, keep on filming. Oh, hello. What's your name? Oh, I can't hear him. We can't hear him, Rebecca. Oh, he's waving away. We couldn't hear either of them. Here's a couple more people. Hello.
We're broadcasting.
We're broadcasting live to millions.
Octopus TV.
Octopus TV.
This is
You never miss an episode, do you? Who are you two? We can't hear them, Rebecca.
Oh, it's too windy. Let me stand there with. Do say hello.
Hello.
Hello, the joys of education, isn't it? Well, they're a friendly bunch at the airfield, aren't they? It all is good. And who are you?
Captain Boogaloo. That's Callum. I'm Callum.
Hello, Callum. And you've got your own plane as well, have you?
I do, yes. I'm not out today, but it's still covered up.
Okay. And what sort of glider do you have?
A nice yellow K6E.
And how long have you had it? What we've been trying to do on this program, we're introducing people to the world of gliding and showing what a friendly bunch everybody is and how easy it is to do it. How many years have you been gliding?
So I started in 2016. Yeah, so 4 years. 4 years now.
And how old were you when you started? You're quite a youngster now. How old were you?
So I was 14.
How old?
14.
14. Now, we were just discussing the other thing you can do when you're 14. Rebecca's trying to encourage people to drive tractors down the M1. So we understand that you could drive a tractor on the airfield as well. So what got you started in gliding, then?
Well, I always had a passion for aviation. It's kind of a natural step you could do at that age, and I thought it'd be a bit of fun to come up and give it a try, and never really look back.
Fantastic. And so all the 14-year-olds watching now, you are going to be the role model for them. What's the first thing they should do?
That's not a good thing.
You like being a role model. I can tell from the massive smile on your face This is gotta be good. What's the first thing they should do?
Yeah, so I did solo when I was 14, and yeah, it's brilliant. I think it's really nice to sort of be able to do something and have such independence at such a young age. You also learn such a good skill set, decision making, and looking at risks and everything. And I would definitely say it
Oh, very good. And who taught you?
taught me. I was taught predominantly by Mr. Hertzberg, who was at the time our CFI here. Yeah, that was my training.
The CFI is a chief flying instructor.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Okay. Oh, very good. And your father, Peter Kay, do you see him very often? Does he go flying with you? Does Peter Kay come flying with you often?
Sure, whether that's no, I'm not. Maybe I should approach him and ask him if he wants to come for a flight.
I think we could have this big family reunion. I reckon that there's a bit of DNA there of the Peter Kay. I reckon this will be good. But listen, I won't disturb you too long. Enjoy your flying. Thank you very much for telling us all about it and all of those.
Thank you.
Now it's fun. How often do you do it?
I try and go most weekends, but I'm just about to go off. I might be taking a bit of
A bit of a break over that sort of thing. Well, look, enjoy today. It looks like a glorious day out there. We'll come back to Rebecca, but nice to see you. Take care.
Thank you.
Say my regards to Peter. Take care. Fantastic. There you go. What a wonderful bunch of people you get there of all ages. You were saying last time, actually, that all of that sounds good, Rebecca. You can get people starting really, really young.
Absolutely. And you probably just saw a Land Rover drive by that had Dave Jones in it, who's in his 80s and still flies.
Ah, Davy Jones. I know all the music industry people are coming down. We've got Peter Kay's involved. We've got Davy Jones. Oh, wow. It's a celebrity fest, isn't it? It's like one of my
Absolutely.
RPs.
We're going to get Faye over later and she's going to have a go. No, maybe not.
She will. We'd love it. Well, I'm definitely coming up with you when we're allowed to do such things. I think we're going to absolutely do that. So for now, you're going to replace that. You're going to fill in your...
Well, actually, Andrew, that can happen. Get in your nice car, come up and we'll fly this afternoon.
Oh, really? Oh, you can do it this afternoon? Well, that's... Whereabouts are you?
We're in Essex.
Essex.
So it's a place called Ridgewell.
Oh, we love Ridgewell. Well, we will definitely plan that. I know I have a few alternative things. But
yes, I expect you're busy today. That wouldn't be fair.
But also, I've got to have my inoculations because we love Essex. It's all good. So I will get the pass. I will get the... No, I do. I love it.
No, this is in the Badlands between Suffolk, Essex and Cambridgeshire, so you wouldn't need inoculations.
Oh, okay. And how... all of that's good. But you're there virtually every weekend, aren't you?
I'm at a gliding club. I'm actually a member of 4 flying clubs. So I'm at one of them at some point. So yes, I'm a member here at Essex, I'm a member at Cambridge, I'm a member at Rattleston Gliding Club, and also of Earl's Colne. That's a power flying club.
Oh, fantastic! And so you have your 2-seater planes as well, so we can go up in a 2-seater glider.
Yes, we can. Well, no, I just put you in one and shout with a megaphone, shout instructions.
I think that would be amazing. No, I'd love to do that. So we'll definitely plan that for a future episode. And what would I need to wear? Because I've got my whistle and flute on. What would I need to wear?
You could wear that if you really wanted to, but you'd have to wear a parachute over the top of it, which might spoil the line of it somewhat. We tend to do a sort of good line in what we describe as glider bum. And if you've got a stupid hat, that's great. Otherwise, we'll lend you one. Sunglasses are a must. And really, you can wear whatever you'd wear just for everyday life.
But
just bear in mind
sunglasses, and
just bear in mind that you're in a field.
You can go along to kttlegacy.com. We have some of Robin Gibbs' glorious inspiration for designs for sunglasses. So RJ.
Oh, the blue round ones, yes.
Yeah, did you like those?
I'm not sure they'd be okay for flying, but they do look cool, don't they?
Oh, we should get some aviators. I suppose aviators are the ones for flying, aren't they?
Surprisingly, we don't actually wear aviators that much. Some people do, but...
Where did they come from then? It's all that sort of Top Gear stuff, isn't it?
What's that? Aviators.
Aviator stuff.
Well, they were designed for flying, but there are better things.
Yeah, I think Top Gear is more the Jeremy Clarkson look, isn't it? Top Gun, that was the aviator.
I think Jeremy Clarkson's quite a long way from Top Gun, to be absolutely honest.
Poor old Joe. He gave away £1 million this week.
Did he? Excellent. I'm really pleased to hear that. What was that for?
Oh no, it's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's the first time we've had a millionaire winner for a long time.
Oh, he didn't give it away, though, did he?
Well, technically, when you're the host of a show, you can your generosity exudes all sorts of things, which is a joy. So we're going to let you go and fill in some forms. We're going to join you later. Do you reckon you could take us flying, though? Even though I'm not joining you in person this week, I will come another week. Will you be able to
try? We can try. We tend to get coverage, sort of 3G coverage, up to about 3,000 feet. And given that we're under the control traffic area for Stansted, or standstill as I call it, we can't really go above 3,000 feet here anyway. So yeah, we can try. Okay. I found a camera mount that will hold the phone. And we can try and give it a go.
I think that would be superb. What sort of time? How much longer will it be before we'll be able to join you again?
About 4'1", probably. I'm not entirely sure.
Thank you.
I have one thing to ask you though.
Oh yes, go on then.
What does KTT Legacy stand for? Because we've heard this, but we don't know what it stands for.
Oh, very good. Well, KTT stands for the company name, which is Not the Truth.
Not the Truth.
As in tie the truth into knots. And what we love is that wonderful play on words, which is why KTT. And legacy is because obviously R.J. Gibb, being a fantastic singer-songwriter in and of his own right, is also the son of the legendary Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees. So it's continuing the legacy where he sings his father's songs and he also sings his uncle's songs, but also is the next generation where he is a singer-songwriter in and of himself. So KTT, Not the Truth, legacy because of the legacy and passing that on.
Excellent.
There you go. Somebody who answers questions on a Sunday morning. We should go on Andrew Marr's show. They sometimes answer questions there as well. But it is interesting. Well, dance around, isn't it?
They certainly get asked questions and then they answer a different question.
Well, it's funny you should talk about the weather. But you are right. And there's a skill in doing that. If you're a politician, what you have to do, whatever the question is you're asked, go and make your soundbite. Doesn't matter whatever they ask you about R rates and numbers and is it safe to do this and why you're doing that. Whatever it is, go on with your soundbite. It's always about those spin doctors, those sultans of spin will guide you through these troubled waters.
I don't know. I think I'd rather trust the tiger than some of our politicians. But that's
I think the tiger's great. My mother is gonna, and she's sponsored it in her memory, or we sponsored in her memory, a fantastic thing for the tigers at ZSL. It's the Zoological Society of London. So London Zoo is going to receive a donation. It has to receive it in my mother's memory, which is fantastic. So tigers is right, and also the Tiger King is returning. Have you been watching that series?
No. People keep saying it's wonderful. We've been watching other things or working or doing aircrafty things. So that's probably a winter thing.
Okay, a winter thing. That's good. No, but you've been watching Octopus TV, which is great because you know all about the programs, and I love it. You even came on when we were trying to do something live on Facebook of all places.
Oh my goodness! It was a Sunday night. I'd literally just done 2 hours on the exercise bike, and you invited me to join in.
I did. It was great. Because we were toying around to see which is the best platform, because we're looking at all sorts of things about remote broadcasting, and I'm going down to Cannes virtually to talk about all of that with the great and good of the industry. So it's fun to try things, and I think there's
of course everything's got to be done virtually these days, hasn't it? And actually, I'm working with a friend of mine, James Issett. You probably know him.
Oh, of course I do.
We're going to be doing some training courses for people to actually improve how they communicate with people virtually over platforms like Zoom.
Oh, to improve. Oh, good. Oh, okay. So what we're going to do then, Rebecca, for this little segment, we're going to finish off with your top 3 tips as to how to communicate better over platforms such as Zoom. Tip number 1.
Well, first of all, don't try to do it on an airfield.
No, but I love the sort of noise in the background, a little bit of interference. It looks like you could be behind a green screen in the same way as people pretend to be on a desert island or something. It's really their living room.
Well, that's where I actually am. I'm actually in my office at
I
home. This is
realise
just a
that.
video.
And behind that little thing, when you pull the screen down, there's your bookshelf, and behind that, there's a blank wall. I love the idea. We should do that. That'd be rather fun. All these little virtual backdrops that you can have. It'd be superb. So you're in a virtual backdrop of an airfield. Go on, give us 3 tips. What would be your top?
So, in true politician style, what it is that we're hoping to do. I've worked with engineers for many, many years. They work for me, and I am one. And we always joke that you can tell the extrovert engineer because he looks at your shoes when he's talking to you. So what we're trying to do is to improve the situation a little bit and just to get them comfortable with talking to a camera, because there's nobody there. You're alone, you're not interacting with anyone, and you're trying to get your point across, and you're trying to have a discussion, and you're trying to negotiate when you speak. And of course, one of the other things that people do is introduce a lot of vocal tics, yeah, and all that. Having done training courses, standing up in front of people for a week, if you were to and you drive people insane, absolutely insane. So that's another thing that we need to get out. There we go.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll pretend that I haven't counted. I'll count those sort of as 2 or 3. So looking at the camera is good, engaging that way.
But actually, it's down to the individual. It's down to the individual's needs, because some of them may be extremely good at getting their point across. Some of them may find looking at the camera quite natural. Some of them might think that that is a perfectly good position to put the camera, or that is a perfectly good position to put the camera. So it's a matter of getting them to put their camera in the right position, so that they don't have double chins, and putting their microphone where you're not hearing all sorts of all sorts of funny noises, and preparing the room.
I assume that was deliberate, Rebecca. I assume that when you went over, that was deliberate. Yes, okay.
That was deliberate. And of course, the backdrop, if you're trying to be professional, the last thing you want is to be in the scruffy broom cupboard, or to be in the spare bedroom with the old curtains. And there's no reason why.
Oh, God, I'll open myself up then. So how is my backdrop?
It's absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine. You've got some flowers, you've got a lamp. The one thing that's missing would be, you could have above your left shoulder a KTT logo.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, never missing an opportunity to promote. I love it.
Or Octopus TV. There we go.
Well, the great thing is, when you upload it, it automatically puts all those glorious things on. So in post-production, I think it's probably around here, actually, what will happen, you'll see that glorious logo will in fact appear, which is very good. And what is your tip for people not to and ah?
Record yourself and watch it and listen and cringe. Yeah.
And people are always worried, aren't they? They're always worried about one thing.
Absolutely. The way to deal with it is, when you think you're going to is to say nothing. And there's a gap instead of an It's really difficult. There are people who can help.
And I think one of the things, Rebecca, that people are always scared in these situations is about silence. And
oh no, silence is great. Silence gives people time to think about things and to let it settle in. And in some ways, it can give you a little more gravitas. Filling the air all the time, it's great, but sometimes you just got to pause.
Well, very good. Well, I will move my gravitas and let you move yours, and let you get the plane ready. It'll be fantastic. Good luck with fiddling on that sort of thing. Make sure that doesn't fall off at 3,000 feet, and hopefully
that wouldn't be good.
A little bit later.
Very good. We might even get to fly the aircraft I've repaired, not the one with the plumbus.
Not the one with the plumbus.
Fans of Rick and Morty. Not this one. This one needs 24 hours to cure once I've bonded it on. But the other one, we should be able to fly this afternoon.
Well, we shall look forward to that. In the meantime, Rebecca Bryan, thank you very much for joining us.
Take care, Andrew. Speak to you later.
Bye-bye. So thank you very much again to Rebecca, my wonderful guest, all the way over in a gliding field somewhere in Essex. We'll be joining her a little bit later and hopefully taking you way up in amongst the clouds. For now, I've been Andrew Eborn. It's been a real fun morning seeing you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.